Joel here. I want to welcome you to this week's edition of eimagine Better. As Lee likes to say, I am grateful to be here.
And I'm glad to be here. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I sat there and kind of smiled and I thought to myself, man, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Do I agree? What do I think about that? And as I sat through it, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you, not just People Solutions who really are champions of that culture, but all of you individuals who make up our company and the culture that we embody, the culture that we live with on a day-to-day basis, challenging and rewarding our employees, carrying that hungry, humble, and aware personal or our core values around with you. I just think it's a fantastic culture that we've worked hard on at eimagine and one that we have going forward. And I can't stress the importance of clear and concise communication. I think some of the breakdowns I've seen with some training, some other things, it's been a communication problem. We've talked through the last couple of weeks about when you communicate, how do you introduce reversing? So answer a question with a question. I think of Ted Lasso, how are you curious, not judgmental? But really just thinking about our communication, how are we clear? How are we concise? How are we smart with how we think about communicating? I really think it's just so important, and I can't stress the importance of clear and concise communication.
The one thing I want to talk about this past week is the leadership team and executive team have really engaged in a multi-step process. The first step starts there with that team on the leadership challenge. We're diving into some leadership training that one instills a philosophy of leadership and then really focuses in on 5 traits from the book, The Leadership Challenge. But there's 5 traits that they look for. Modeling the way is number 1. So basically, are you as a leader modeling the behaviors and modeling the way to instill and inspire as a leader? Number 2, I should dump into that, is inspiring a shared vision. Do you have a vision of success of what maybe it looks like? Challenge the process is step 3 from a trait perspective. Are you challenging the current process? Are you making changes? Number 4 is enabling others to act. I think that's a really key one, is are we putting people in environments and then enabling the act? And then the last one is encourage the heart. So are you thinking about the person side, the people side of leadership? And so there's 5 characteristics there, 5 traits. And someone asks you a question, think to yourself, do they really want to know that answer, or are they really wanting to tell me something? And if you go into that mindset and then start on that top of that pain funnel with, well, why don't you tell me more? I really think it'll be interesting to see where you can take some conversations and really drive into things, and just wanted to reinforce that power of tell me more. Hopefully there's something in there for a lesson learned from you. Hopefully you imagine yourself better. Eimagine better.